What if the Vatican's excommunication decree is no longer fully in force? That is exactly what the Society of St. Pius X is now arguing. Just days after Rome declared 6 SSPX bishops excommunicated and accused the Society of schism, the SSPX has launched a formal canonical challenge. And according to the Society, that appeal has an important legal effect. It suspends the force of the decree while the case is being examined. On July 13th, the SSPX announced that it had filed a preliminary administrative appeal with the Vatican's Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith on July 11th. The appeal challenges the decree issued by the same Dicastery on July 2nd. That decree declared the Society's 6 bishops to be schismatic and therefore excommunicated. It also warned SSPX priests and lay faithful not to adhere to what Rome described as a schism. The decree stated that those who adhere to the schism could themselves be considered excommunicated. The SSPX responded by invoking provisions of the Church's own canon law. According to the Society, its appeal was submitted under Canons 1734 and the following canons of the 1983 Code of Canon Law. The Society further argues that Canon 1353 applies in this case. According to that canon, when a recourse or appeal is pending against an administrative penalty, the force of that penalty is suspended while the process continues. In its official statement, the Society explained why it decided to take this step. It said that the appeal is an exercise of a right recognized by the Church. That right allows any person who believes he has been harmed by an administrative act to seek its correction. The SSPX said it is acting in a spirit of respect for Church authority and out of fidelity to justice, truth, and the good of the Church. The Society also clarified that this is only the first stage of the process. Under canon law, before appealing to a higher authority, a person must first ask the author of the decree to revoke or modify it. This written request is known as a petitio revocationis. Since the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith issued the decree, the request was submitted directly to that Dicastery. Only after that step can a higher appeal be filed. The SSPX explained that this preliminary recourse is required before a possible hierarchical recourse can be submitted. A hierarchical recourse is the legal procedure used in the Church to challenge administrative acts believed to be unlawful. This includes acts that impose or declare penalties. The Society also pointed to another significant consequence of Canon 1353. While the appeal remains pending, a person who has supposedly been excommunicated may continue to receive the sacraments and carry out actions that otherwise would have been prohibited by the sanction. What happens next? If the Dicastery rejects the request, or if no response is given, the SSPX may take the case to the Supreme Tribunal of the Apostolic Signatura. That tribunal functions as the Church's highest administrative court for disputes involving acts of ecclesiastical authority. What about SSPX confessions and marriages? According to numerous canon lawyers, the situation is less clear. Some argue that Pope Francis' previous concessions regarding SSPX confessions and marriages may still remain in force. They point out that the attempted revocation was announced through a note rather than through a formal decree. Because no explicit papal legislative act has been issued, some canonists argue that Canon 144 applies. Under that principle, Pope Francis' faculties may continue to remain valid because of legal doubt. For now, the dispute has entered a new phase. The Vatican has issued its decree. The SSPX has answered with a formal appeal. And while the legal process moves forward, one of the most significant Church controversies of recent years is far from over.